In this video, we're going to discuss part 3 and the final part of setting up and solving our partial fraction decomposition. So in order to get to part 3 involves solving the system and then writing the solution. To get to part 3, you have to go through parts 1 and 2. So if we continue one of our examples, so part 1 was setting up the fractions, part 2 was getting the system, and now here in part 3 we're going to solve this system. And you folks already know how to solve these systems, right? This was done earlier this chapter. So you can use substitution method or elimination method, whichever one you prefer. It really doesn't matter. Either method should get you to the correct answer. So we're going to go ahead and solve. So I'm going to choose elimination because I've got a positive b and a negative b, and if I add these right now, the b will get canceled. It just seems pretty easy, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So my b's are going to cancel. 5 and 7 is 12, and I get 4a, so 4a equals 12, which means a is 3. That's nice. And then I could plug this into the first equation. So 3 plus b is 5, and I can solve for b. B's got to be 2. Okay. Now the way you write your solution is not going to be to circle these two answers. Okay. We've got to put these back up here, because honestly, you folks are going to be setting these up maybe in a different order. If someone else might have a over x plus 3 and b over x minus 1, and then this is, I don't know which goes where. So when you're writing your solution, you got to make sure you put these back up here in your original setup. Wherever you put the letter A, put the number 3. Wherever you put the letter B, that's where we're going to put 2. Okay, so the solution, what we wanted to find was a decomposition for this fraction. And we found that that decomposition is to have 3 over x minus 1 plus 2 over x plus 3. And that's my answer right there. Okay. Let's look at the other example. So again, we're going to actually solve the system and write the solution. So we started here. We set this up. We got to the system. Now we need to solve the system and then make sure we go back and replace A, B, and C with the numbers. Now don't literally go back and erase these, because I want to see where you put A, B, and C. Okay, that's going to matter so I can follow along with what you did here. That's why we write the solution down at the bottom. Okay, so let's see. We've got 3 equations, 3 unknowns. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to use, oh, there's a few things we could do. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to take this first equation here. I'm going to solve for b. B is negative a, right? I'm going to make this substitution in these 2 equations down here. So I'm going to get negative 4a minus b. It's going to be minus negative a, so plus a, plus c is 3, which is going to give me the equation negative 3a plus c is 3. And then I'll make that substitution down here in this third equation. So for a negative on here, and then a negative here, so make it positive. So plus 2a plus c is 16. We'll combine like terms, I get 6a plus c is 16. So we've reduced our 3 equations down to 2 with 2 variables. Now I got to solve this, right? So I think I'll do elimination again. I'm going to multiply this first equation by negative 1 I'm going to change all my signs, and then I'll add these together. So 9a, c's cancel. 16 minus 3 is 13. So a is 13 over 9. It's okay to get fractions here. I'm going to show you how to handle those, okay? A is 13 over 9. That means b is negative 13 over 9, right? If I plug that back in, that's nice and easy. So b is negative 13 over 9. So then all I got to do is get c, right? So I'm going to plug a back into one of these equations here to find c. So negative 3 times a plus c equals 3. Let's see. 3 goes into 9 3 times. I'm just going to multiply everything by 3 to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so this is going to give me negative 13 plus 3c equals 9. Gotta solve for c. 9 plus 13 is what, 22? So c is equal to 22 over 3. They're all fractions, okay? And again, that's fine. That's totally fine. What we're going to do is put these back in up here when we write our final answer. Again, some of you might have these in a different order, so just make sure you put the a value wherever your a was, okay? So, solution. We were trying to find a decomposition for 3x plus 16 over x plus 1 times x minus 2 squared. We had 3 fractions. I'm just copying from above, okay? The a value was, what I put first, was 13 over 9. Now, a fraction inside a fraction is just nasty. No one wants to read that. So we're not going to write our answer that way, okay? So I am going to write it that way for now, so you can see I'm putting them in here. So a is 13 over 9, b is negative 13 over 9, and c is 22 over 3. But the fraction inside a fraction is just gross. So here's how you write that. If the numerator's fraction, look at this, 13 over 9 times x plus 1. It means it's the same thing, right? Now our b value was negative, so I could just say minus this fraction, so minus 13 over 9 times x minus 2. Make sure you put your parentheses, right? Because that's multiplying onto the entire denominator. And then plus 22 over 3 times x minus 2 squared, right? This is what you're going to be typing in as your answer, okay? Awesome. So you're going to be solving systems still. That's why this method is included in this chapter, because we need systems of equations to be able to solve this, okay? So it's a good study tool here on those methods again.